Hey, my friends, how are you? Welcome to another complete and informative video, this time with a summary of everything that happened in free practice 2 for the Singapore GP. But before anything else, subscribe and activate notifications here on the channel so you don't miss any details about the 2024 Formula 1 season. And if you like straightforward videos like this one, leave a like to support our work. So without further ado, let's see what happened on the track, where the teams made the most of these 60 minutes to make the main adjustments with qualifying and the race in mind, since this session is the only practice session held at night, just like the main sessions. So, in the first few minutes, all the drivers went out on the track with some using hard tires and others medium tires, saving the soft ones for later in the session. After everyone's first laps, Leclerc took the lead with Lando Norris in second and Lance Stroll in third, but with the times still very far apart, showing that the drivers were not pushing themselves to the limit in these initial minutes, even to avoid the risk of an accident or something like that, which would delay the tests and could even generate more headaches for the weekend. Lewis Hamilton did his first laps on medium tires and again complained about the lack of traction and grip, with him making the same complaint in practice 1, showing that his Mercedes is not so well adjusted for this circuit for now. Verstappen also complained about the lack of grip in low-speed corners, saying that the car was understeering on hard tires, with this complaint about lack of grip being quite common among drivers in these initial minutes. The Williams cars started well, with Albon setting the fastest time around the 15-minute mark, putting more than 0.3 of a second ahead of Leclerc, with Colapinto setting the 6th fastest time, but on hard tires. This was an excellent performance by both of them, so we'll keep an eye on the Williams for the rest of the weekend, since their car seems to be doing very well on this circuit. Meanwhile, Verstappen was struggling with his RB20, going off the track several times and not getting a lap time, while the other teams were lowering their times with each lap. On the radio, after completing a lap that he thought was good, he asked his team if he had improved, and the team said no, everything was still bad on his lap. With 20 minutes of practice, the Williams rookie made a curious mistake, missing his garage and joining another team, Alpine, explaining that the problem was the lights, since at night many teams are similar. Tell me what you think of Colapinto's performance so far. Do you think he deserves a spot on the grid next season? Within 30 minutes, several drivers installed soft tires on their cars and went for their first laps with these tires in this session. And exactly halfway through the practice session, Norris was the leader with Leclerc in second and Tsunoda in third. Verstappen was only 13th and Hamilton was in last place. Even speaking of Hamilton, the driver also struggled to achieve good times, and even giving his best, the most he could do was close to 10th place, almost 1 second slower than the leaders of McLaren and Ferrari. With about 20 minutes left, several drivers started to train at race pace, since they also needed to make adjustments for this situation, taking advantage of the track conditions at that moment. In this part of the practice session, George Russell's Mercedes had a problem with its power unit, but nothing that would greatly hinder the driver, who soon went out onto the track and was able to complete his practice session normally. With 7 minutes to go, all the cars took to the track for their final laps, most on soft tires, with a few exceptions such as Red Bull, for example, who continued to focus on race pace on hard tires. And with 2 minutes to go, George Russell lost control of his Mercedes and hit the barriers head-on, damaging his car a little and losing the front wing. But at least he managed to reverse and get his car to the garage without the nose, with this yellow flag hindering some fast laps by other drivers, but fortunately not causing a red flag, but not giving anyone else a chance to set a fast lap. And with the time up, Lando Norris was first and Charles Leclerc second, with Carlos Sainz in third and Yuki Tsunoda in fourth, with Racing Bulls showing good performance in qualifying pace in this session. Russell was 7th, Perez 8th, Hamilton only 11th, and Verstappen 16th, in yet another weekend that didn't start well for Verstappen and Red Bull. Well, for now, we've finished the track activities, but you, tell me in the comments, what are your bets after these 2 free practice sessions on Friday? Will the fight be between Leclerc and Norris, or do you still believe in a surprise?